So, folks, y'all remember there's this guy named Zohran Mamdani, right? Zohran Mamdani, running to be mayor of New York City, constantly dunking on Andrew Cuomo for being a sex pest and, you know, the former governor who killed the elderly. You know, just being dunked on it, not nonstop. And Mamdani's just killing it. He's just killing it. And all of the worst people hate him. If somebody is a bad person, they hate Zohran Mamdani. That's kind of how it works. Do you all remember that town hall we covered just a few days ago with Mike Flood? Well, guess what? He's back again, baby. And he's got some thoughts about this Zohran Mamdani character.
And Republican Congressman from Nebraska, that is, and member of the House Financial Services Committee. Congressman, let's talk just a little bit here about your reaction to this hit and this idea that the rich should pay more even in localities. Good idea, bad idea? And tell us about your reaction to the NYC candidate for mayor, Zohran Mamdani.
Well, first of all, anytime you've got a candidate in the biggest city, one of our biggest cities, New York, and he's talking about government-run grocery stores, I mean, that's like a gift falling out of the sky for the Republican Party. This is where the Democrats are going. This is where the left is pulling them. They want government-run grocery stores. They want universal health care, but they don't want to pay for it. Someone else is going to always pay for everything. And I think it's interesting, in the higher income neighborhoods of New York, this guy is the one getting all the votes. In the lower income Democratic neighborhoods of New York, Mr. Cuomo is getting those votes. What does that say about where people living paycheck to paycheck have to think about government-run grocery stores? That's why the Republican Party is the party of the working class in America. Our message is resonating. The far left is not. And this will not end well for New York if that's their choice.
I think it's crazy that Zohran Mamdani wants to open grocery stores. That is the most competitive business imaginable with very narrow margins.
The most competitive business what?
Imaginable with very narrow margins. The idea that the government can do that successfully, I'm not buying it. Let's move on, though, to your town hall. It went viral after you were...
I love that. Just, I don't believe that. I just don't believe... I just don't believe that they can run grocery stores. This government could field the most powerful military on earth, but it can't run a grocery store. No, sir. Why, we can have the largest nuclear arsenal ever to exist. We can't run a grocery store. Like, I'm sorry. You expect us to think that the government should have nuclear weapons if it can't even run a grocery store? Like, what are you fucking talking about? Also, would it surprise you that literally there is a part of the Nebraska government dedicated to like supporting rural grocery stores? It's crazy. Wow. Look at this. You can literally get municipal financing for your rural grocery store in Nebraska. God damn it.
Food for defending the one big beautiful bill and saying that able-bodied young people who refuse to work should not be given free health care. Take a listen to this.
When you look at the bill, this was a middle-class tax cut. This bill is a middle-class tax cut. If you choose not to work, you do not get free health care. You do not get free health care.
Imagine having these clips played back to you and getting bodied this hard.
So here's a question. Do you think that people who are 28 years old that can work and refuse to work should get free health care?
Holy cow. That's amazing. What's the response since then, Congressman?
Well, I can tell you that a great majority of Nebraskans do not agree with the folks that were in that crowd.
Yeah, I have a bunch of supporters. They all just go to a different school.
These are the same people that have been at all three of my town halls. This has been their mission to disrupt. You know, by and large, what I hear from Republicans and...
You know, it's crazy that these people have now been coming to your town halls for 3 times, apparently, according to you, and you haven't been able to manage to get any of your own supporters in those rooms. That's crazy, dog.
Democrats on the streets of my district, they say, first of all, thank you for standing in the town square. Thank you for explaining the way you voted and why you voted. And then they say, we're sorry you had to deal with that. And I say, hey, this is America. Everybody has their right to express themselves. That's what makes this country great.
I'm not owned. I'm not owned. I'm not owned. I'm not owned. Anyway, that's enough of that clip, because it's time for us to take a look real quick at another person who's stepping up to the plate to try and, kind of get on this Zohran Mamdani hate train. And wouldn't you know it, it's the leader of the House, the Democrats in the House anyway, Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries, what are you going to tell us today with your dead-eyed stare?
Andrew Cuomo has made the point that Zohran Mamdani lives in a rent-controlled apartment, even though he is not considered, quote-unquote, poor, and that Andrew Cuomo would actually try to create a law in the state that would prevent people like Mamdani from living in a rent-controlled apartment. Do you think that he should live in a rent-controlled apartment?
Well, listen, that's an issue for the state legislators and the state government to work out.
No, but it's a fascinating issue about affordability in.
Hey, if you can get a rent-controlled apartment, more power to you, friend. Like straight up. Sorry, you shouldn't. Like, you should be able to get a rent-controlled apartment even if you are not living below the poverty line. Like you like, a rent-controlled apartment doesn't mean you pay no rent. Like, if you're homeless in New York City, whether it's rent-controlled or not, you're still boned when it comes to like your living expenses.
In this city, and whether there are folks who are living in rent-controlled apartments all across this city that effectively should be going towards poor people who need that affordability.
It's a legitimate issue that has been raised, and the Mamdani campaign is going to have to.
They can't fucking say his name. What's wrong with you? The Mamdani campaign.
To address it.
Andrew Cuomo.
There's a goddamn N in his name, man. Be like me calling this man Hakeem. That doesn't make sense. It's not a hard name to say. This is, of course, Hakeem Jeffries trying to attack Zohran Mamdani in a sideways, cowardly way. And I just want to throw this out there because it's funny. This is from just a couple of years ago. Fun fact for all of you about Hakeem Jeffries' living situation. Let's take a look at this, according to the New York Post.
Zohran Mamdani.
Indeed, Sakit Tanuki. Thank you for the 5 tier 1 subs. But this is Representative Hakeem Jeffries pays just $200 in property taxes thanks to a sweetheart subsidy law. This man is like talking about how it's a valid question whether or not Zohran Mamdani, a man who is not like by any means wealthy, he's just not poor, deserves rent control, while no one on earth is talking about Hakeem Jeffries benefiting from like political graft to have just a $200 property tax. Like that's insane. Brooklyn Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, a potential replacement for House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, because he hadn't replaced her at this point in time, lives in a people's house that's heavily subsidized by taxpayers. Public records show that Jeffries and his family reside in a condo unit in red-hot Prospect Heights, paying just $213 a year in property taxes. So, for those of you who aren't aware, let's take a look. Prospect Heights. Oh, wow. Would you look at that? Oh, look, 300,000 for a 990 square feet foreclosed home. Oh, look, a $1.2 million condo, a $6.9 million brownstone, an $830,000 condo. And I can guarantee you guys, Hakeem Jeffries isn't living in one of the cheap homes here at Prospect Park. Okay? So like I swear, like I'm scrolling through this. 1.25 million, 1.995 million, 2 million, 5 million, 750,000, 3 million, 4.3 million. Like, I'm sorry. Dude is paying $200 a year in property taxes on homes that expensive. Nah, fucking corrupt piece of shit has the audacity to talk about Zohran Mamdani's living situation in a rent-controlled apartment as like a middle-class American, as like something that is a valid political issue. Insane. The fucking audacity. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Hakeem Jeffries. You do not have the riz to pull that off. at all. It is super gross. Anyway, Zohran Mamdani is doing pretty good. I think he's kind of nailing this campaign. Good job, Zohran.
Riverboat Jack is coming to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube is where she streams. All that content is bursting the scenes. Politics, gaming, and plenty more. Her sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord.